Pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023 as amended on March 28, 2025. Let's go, Doug. This meeting will be conducted in person and as a courtesy via remote means in accordance with applicable law. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation is being provided, the meeting hearing will not be suspended or terminated if there are tech problems unless required by law. Viewers can visit the local scene.media/Duxbury, formerly pac-tv, to watch a video replay of this meeting on Duxbury YouTube. Okay. Night number 3 for most of us. Thank you all for putting in those hours. We're going to tonight, the minutes, why don't we do that while we're waiting for Rainey to come?
Okay.
That'd be great.
Minutes from the meeting on December 2nd.
Yeah.
The only issue I had was on the second page under Department 14, health insurance line, paragraph 1, you get the sentence 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth one down, it says, Mrs. Sullivan agrees that being self-insured allows us blah, 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 blah. But out of the fourth sentence, Mrs. Sullivan feels that this is a shining start of what the town offers. I think that should be a star.
It was a star, shining star.
So that was the only typo I found, so I would move the minutes of January 2nd.
Mrs. Sullivan had a lot to say, so that we could just do
That was
that.
a good start, though.
There was a lot of chit chat.
December 2. Not January. We're not there yet. Did I say January?
Yeah.
All right. I revised my recommendation. I'd like to move the minutes of December 2nd, 2025 as amended.
I'd like to second that.
Okay, all those in favor, Mark? Mark, you're muted, hon.
Abstain, I wasn't there.
Okay, so abstain?
Yep.
Okey doke. Chuck?
Chuck, I.
Brenda,
Al, I.
Ashley, I.
Betsy, aye.
Kathleen, I.
Okay, great. So that would be
601.
6:01. All right, great. Those are the only minutes that we have currently, right? Outstanding.
Linda was kind enough to send out the meetings from the last meeting, but they're 19 pages long. And I only got through general government.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be
Because I'm
fine.
trying to pick through and get all the account numbers and the line numbers right and the dollar amount right. So I'm checking each one and we go through and I got through general government.
Okay,
And I got slowed down because my printer, I got to print out a page. I didn't realize it until I was in the middle. Then I added them all up. I said, wait a minute, it said 19 pages. I only have 18. Like, which one is missing? My printer doesn't
all
it's
right.
got the page numbers, so I'm scrambling. So I'll have it for our next meeting.
All right, so Rainey's not here yet. Mary, did you want to go over the changes or would you rather wait for him to get here?
We can do either.
Why don't you go ahead? Is that okay? Yep. All right, then let's do that.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. You should have received 2 handouts.
Do we have this so that we can email it to?
I already did.
Oh, great, you've got a mark. Okay, great.
Committee.
Oh, you're so on your game.
And it is posted on the town's website under the Finance Committee Calendar 2025 Meetings page. Posted before we arrived here this evening. So
All right.
there are 3 documents that are posted on the town's website and 3 documents that were distributed to you guys. I'm going to start with the smaller of the documents first. So I was not at your meeting. How's that?
Yep, all set. Thank you.
So I was not at your meeting on Tuesday evening of this week because I was at the Fiscal Advisory Committee meeting. And we had our semi-annual fee hearing in December for rates to take effect at the beginning of 2026. There were 5 departments that presented proposed fee increases before the Fiscal Advisory Board. First was the harbor master. Second was the town clerk. Third was animal control. Fourth was me, who presented the transfer station and beach proposals. And I'm happy to report that all 5 departments, as proposed, were supported and recommended by the Fiscal Advisory Committee. So the next step of that process is that on Monday evening, in front of the select board, there will be another public hear, or there will be the public hearing in front of the select board for them to adopt fee increases. So based on the positive recommendation from the fiscal advisory, we have made an assumption that we are presenting in front of you this evening. And again, that assumption needs to be verified and approved by the select board on Monday. But that assumption is that the fee increases will generate incremental revenues for the town that will be in place for the FY 27 budget that we are talking about. So if you flip to the second page of the smaller handout, I will walk through with you the changes and
Hold
what
on,
happened.
1 second. Mark, can you hear Mary okay? Okay,
Excellent,
all right,
great,
great.
thank
It's
you.
just the owl isn't looking at you, so I didn't.
Oh, maybe I deliberately sat off camera.
And that is scooch up, Mary. No, yeah, your hair looks great. You should be front and center.
Yeah, this online. If you go to boards and committees, go to the finance committee.
Yeah.
Go to, on the left-hand nav pane, click calendar 2025 meetings.
Is it our thing?
That rings.
Okay.
Good.
So you got one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. We're not gonna make you start. Thanks.
It's lit and we're on. This page.
Thank you so much. Oh, my gosh, no, it's fine.
So at the top of this page here, what I have included for you is the fees that were approved by fiscal advisory and the estimated revenue from the various departments. And what we've done tonight in the budget modifications that we're going to go through in a moment is we have utilized this incremental funding in order to support the 5A budget that we're going to go over, and we'll
Okay.
talk about some differences.
Was option 2
So,
accepted on all of these?
So yes, it was.
Okay, good.
So what you'll see is that the 5 various departments that proposed fee increases proposed incremental revenue of about $638,000. But we are being conservative to make sure that because some of these fee changes are discretionary and people will make a choice at home on whether they are going to continue to purchase those services or secure them elsewhere. So we're being a little conservative, and the amount that we are adjusting local receipts by is $500,000. So can you see that in the top chart there?
Mhm.
Okay. With that being said, that 500, and so let me just flip back into a little puzzle. First page that I handed out on that 2-page handout, that is the revised local receipts estimate. So if anybody's following along on previous revenue estimates, this one here incorporates that additional $500,000 of local receipts among the various categories. So
In
I'll
version.
go back to in version 2, correct? Yep. Yes.
And the spike
so-
in 25 was mostly excise, right?
No.
No, oh, sorry.
All right, so the $500,000 that we're talking about for appropriations on the second page, this chart down here
Mhm.
shows where it has been allocated. I want to go through 2 things on this chart. So if you look at the departments where it says accounting, information technology, facilities, police, etc., there's 2 columns called modified. One says modified after 1027 and one says modified 1211. So the reason I have 2 columns is this worksheet, our budgetary worksheet, the last version that the select board received was on October 27th when we did that big meeting with the select board over at the school department. So we need to highlight the changes in the budget from the last time they saw it. So Monday, when we're explaining it to them, they understand the changes.
Mhm.
You guys got a revised version of this worksheet on the 5th of December. And that worksheet on the 5th of December included my modifications in this 1027 column. Does that make sense so far?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, all
The
right,
20, for the police, the 20,000.
yes.
And
So,
the deduction from, it's just the police and health
no, so
insurance.
let me go through.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. All right, so in the budget worksheet that you have here tonight, there are cells that are highlighted in green. Every one of those cells that's highlighted in green that we're gonna go through is reflecting these changes in this small chart right here,
Okay.
okay? So the changes from the
I'm
10,
sorry,
20.
excuse me just a second. When you said in the chart right here, are you looking at the modified 12, 11?
I'm gonna go through it.
Okay,
I know, we're bad. We're bad.
I'm jumping ahead.
If you guys could just let me get
They never
there.
graduate from school.
We're bad at scooting.
Never let the teacher finish the sentence.
It's terrible. Okay, so what happened from the 1027 worksheet is we then sharpened our pencils to make sure that we reconciled everything against all of the departmental workbooks that the departments have brought forth in front of the finance committee, and we noticed that there were a couple of errors that needed to be corrected. So that is what that modified after 1027 column represents, was us making corrections to the budget worksheet. So now the second column that says modified 1211 is from today. And that is the allocation of the additional $500,000 in estimated revenue to do a couple of things, to restore some of the positions that were a reduction in force from last year, and to move a couple of the new proposed positions from 5B into 5A.
Got it.
Okay?
On the first page from columns to the right, the budget B1, budget B2.
Mhm.
So why is the movement more than the revenue increase on the second page?
Because that B1, those estimates started back in July, August, and September. And then they were modified again for the October meeting, and now they were modified again for the December meeting. Revenues are a moving target. once
Yeah,
we-
so it's like, it's updated forecast
Exactly.
and the 638 in additional, okay.
Just the 500. So.
Oh, it's the 500. okay.
Yeah, so if you went back and looked at my 1027 revenue estimates, they are 10,088,364.
So
Plus 500.
can I have another question? Are we gonna have to revote some of these
Yes,
things?
that's why I
Okay,
highlighted them in green.
Okay. Because a lot of things we asked,
Yep.
that's
So-
changed.
On this budget worksheet, so now I'm gonna flip over to the big budget worksheet. Excuse me. All of the items that are highlighted in green include the items, or include my understanding of the items that you did not vote the other night because there were some questions, as well as the ones that I just highlighted that have changes that are being proposed this evening. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. So on the first one, which is line 8, under accounting, you'll see that the cell under 5A has been highlighted. That amount has been increased from what you voted the other night. And on the right-hand side, 5B, those two cells have been highlighted to reflect that the amount was removed out of 5B and put into 5A. Based on the town manager's recommendation.
Okay, so logistics. Would you like to go through all of these, Mary?
We can do them
Or
one by
would you
one.
like
There's
us to
just,
revote them as we go?
I probably revote them as we go, so it's less confusing. We can kind of
Is
put
that
it
all
to
right,
bed each
everybody?
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Good,
So
okay.
Kathleen, if you could make.
Can I ask a question first?
Oh, sure, of course,
Yeah.
sorry.
So Betsy, last night at the school committee meeting, you asked a couple questions about revenue line items, and you got some good responses. So this is more of a technicality question for Mary. Some of those revenue line items, they highlight, as you do with some of your accounts, you just have to be conservative when you forecast it, and you can't embed just what you did last year. You have to see what comes in the door. So some of the revenue line items from the school committee on page 47 of their budget are down significantly over year. And the impression is we forecast conservatively, those will get better. My question is when those revenue numbers come in and you have actuals, what happens to that revenue? What happens to that cash? Does
Yeah.
that stay within the school and they get to use it discretionary, or does it get sent back to you and you use it for free cash?
So it depends on which revenue source you're talking about. So all of the ones on the chart that I handed out tonight, this one called local receipts. And can anyone hold it up so Mark can see?
I see it. I know. Yep.
Any excess revenues that we receive in any of these categories here, which are the town managed revenue funds.
Yep.
Those close out to free cash. So they increase our free cash position and therefore our ability to fund one-time transfers and capital expenses. The
Okay.
revenue sources that are under the control of the school department, any excess or surplus that they receive above their budgetary estimate stays with the school department.
So what I did today, Mark, because I had a lot of questions regarding, especially for other, right?
Right.
And, I emailed the school department and I asked for a breakdown of what those line items actually held, who gave them the money and why it went away, right? So I've asked for a lot more detail on those because it's almost $2,900,000 swing from FY 25 to a projected FY 27, which seemed certainly something we should investigate. And I've got an email back that I have not had time to review enough to present it tonight. And what I might do is invite them back to discuss those and do a presentation, because I think $3 million is worth looking at. And it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't add up.
Great.
So,
Thank you.
but I have not invited them back yet, so I'm depending on what the pleasure of the committee is, I will do that if that's something people want, but we really aren't gonna get into it tonight because I did not have a chance to make sense of the email that was sent to me today.
Okay,
Thank
so,
you.
Motion to rescind and then the other, yeah.
yeah, motion to rescind 135 accounting salaries, line 8. In the amount of, hold on just a sec, let me get myself back. 350,234.
Second,
No.
Yes, she's right.
I'm
he's
rescinding,
moving the old one.
I'm rescinding the old one and I'll.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the new
I
one.
seconded it.
Okay, all the,
Mark, aye.
Okay.
Red eye.
Yeah, aye.
Actually, I.
Betsy, I.
Kathleen, I.
Okay, great. So that's rescinded.
Yep, move to approve Department 135 accounting line 8 salaries in the amount of 420,234.
Second,
Can we just
Mark,
ask-
aye.
there's
All those in
discussion.
favor?
are we
No,
just-
No, we
Oh,
finished
oh,
discussing.
sorry, I'm sorry.
Discussion.
Yeah, for 1 second. So I guess I was hesitant to, I thought that we were gonna like hold the line of new FTEs would be in B and restore, like not bring them into A. And I'm just a bit nervous to start prioritizing certain headcounts over others, which now we're doing, which is great that we can add some back in, but I don't know if we really talked about like which ones we want to bring in, or if we want to go down that path or just keep it pure, like
Yeah.
FTEs are in 5D. And the one in particular that I have concerns about is the benefits specialist. I know
Well, we
Kathleen,
haven't gotten there yet, so let's talk about that line. Do you want to stop now and have a kind of a holistic
Yeah,
conversation?
I think we'd be better served if we talked about all of them. And then we can get some perspective on which ones we think are more important than others. As Ashley was stating, we were reluctant to try to put those back into A, although the discussion on Tuesday was all around kind of pushing these people back into A if we could. And now money has been found, and so gives us an opportunity to do it. But I think if we go through all of them first, we can get in our head, well, here are 5 or 6, how many items are actually changing? 6.
Yeah, and I think when, on Tuesday, Betsy took like an informal poll on this particular,
I think that would help us
Position.
if we went through them all
Yeah.
first.
Right, and when we were talking about it, it seemed as though the consensus of the committee was, this was incredibly important, so I was making an assumption, which that assume again, that this was something that we wanted to move forward with, so, what shall we do as far as,
If I could interject.
yes, that'd be great, any suggestions would be gratefully appreciated.
So what you have in front of you on this, consolidated little cheat sheet that's extrapolated here is the town manager's recommendations. So remember that you're voting whether you recommend to support the town manager's recommendations or not. If you choose, and let me, with a huge caveat, which I probably should have led with, is what you're looking at here in the 5A budget is a balanced budget. So if you do not support the town manager's recommendations on any of these lines, then you are going to need to propose an offsetting reduction elsewhere.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing is you're populating the FinCom's recommendation now. The town manager's recommendations will stay. That makes sense?
Yeah,
Okay, so then maybe to Friend's point, instead of doing them one at a time, if you want to go through all of them first, it's
Then let's do
entirely up
that.
to you.
okay,
Hey, Mary, maybe I could just highlight, use your cheat sheet, and go down each one, like looks like there's 3 positions or 4 positions, so it should be pretty quick. But maybe to Ashley's point, like holistically, like when we find more revenue, and given we've heard for 2 months of how underfunded everything is, just quickly why salaries outweigh, recurring maintenance that's been deferred, fire station that doesn't have a heating system, for example.
I can give you a short answer. There's
Yeah,
departments.
short answer is great.
There's departments that are bleeding.
So-
In terms of staffing, there are departments that are suffering greatly right now.
so let's take them one at a time. I think it might make it a bit easier on this particular one, and this is the conversation that we had when I held that line. That's why I'm stepping in. I held this line the other day because I wanted to get this back into A. We have $100 million corporation that is running on a short-staffed accounting office. That is not good business practice. This is the group that gets the money, pays the bills, balances, makes sure everybody is sticking to what their budgetary requirements are, and has the responsibility of filing with various state agencies a plethora of reporting that has to be done by law. The accounting office head has been working with Mary most weekends and sometimes Saturday and Sunday. It is not sustainable. And it puts us, I believe, in a very tenuous, a very difficult situation that eventually there's something that is going to fall through the cracks. And as I said Tuesday, this is not a red flag. This is not me saying this because something has happened, but it is impossible not to consider the fact that there will be, with this kind of pressure and this kind of a workload, there's going to be mistakes made. It's just going to happen. And it's not because we don't have talented people. It's because they can't continue on this path.
and it's the soft cost of it. It's the soft cost to this, to not have it, right? The beat up on morale, the fact that, people aren't gonna work weekends and they'll look for positions in other places.
They're doing it now.
It's just bad business practice.
Yeah, it's malpractice.
So Mary, is this the only South person that was put back in?
Yes.
No.
Yes,
No.
Yes,
No.
yes,
yeah,
as a restore.
Oh, is it restored?
Oh, is it restored?
yeah.
Yeah, this is not a new position. This is a position that was cut.
Okay, but it's not the only headcount that we're moving into A. I thought
Right.
you're asking.
Correct.
What about the?
That's correct. The chief made a correct statement.
Okay. All right. Okey dokey.
The next one,
All right,
Let's see, the next green.
next
Well,
page is.
no, wait, so are you saying you want to go through everybody that's been either restored or
Just the green spots.
just green spots?
Just go through the green spots.
No, but
That's
the specialist is not a green spot.
Hey, it's right here. It's all right here.
No, we already,
We're trying to, we're trying to. do-
No, just trying, to, I mean,
So I want to go through, I think I want to go through like the FTEs that were in B.
Yeah.
And make sure that we agreed on which ones are the priorities to bring into A. So like we've already passed over under selectman manager, there's a 1 in B. And we're saying no one feels strongly about bringing that into A.
Not at this time, I don't. That's my office.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so then we down to the accounting, we've spoke to that. I think benefits, I feel strongly that if we're opening it up and bringing people into A, I think that this one supports the whole town. This feels like one that supports all departments, all individuals, and is a risky position to not have staff, client's perspective. And it's 0.5, so it's relatively cheap too.
I checked with the HR department. They're fine right where it was
They're fine without having it.
in the B budget. They want the B budget, not the A.
And we are in the process of investigating software to help facilitate some of the.
Yep.
Can you hear what Mary's saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
thank you for
I'm the only one that's
taking another look at that, Rainey.
Thank you. Okay, so, and I absolutely respect your point of view because it is difficult.
In my.
Yes, and the Kathleen, sorry, I respect more what Kathleen said, but you're a close second. Okay.
Jot it down.
Oh, mother of God, okay. Facilities management,
And facilities management, the modification that you're seeing there is on the two modifications on the salaries line. Is to include the administrative assistant position. In the 5A budget, it does not include the building maintenance tech. We have talked with Katie and she has prioritized it in that order. That the administrative assistant is a higher priority at this time. And so that is on the salary line for 54,000 and on the expense line under property repairs and maintenance. We've modified the budget to include an additional $88,500 in order to give her more resources to complete more projects.
which she will have the time now to do. Any questions on that one? I think the question on the discussion on that revolved that she's
Where's the expenses though?
Right below.
right below it.
Line
It's 2
29.
lines. It's just the green
Line
is
28
leads
and
into the
line
next one.
29.
Why does it say 691?
Because the department originally requested a lot, so I modified it to include this, the department's request. Her request was much higher, and when we sat down and talked with her, and it was reduced. But now we have the ability to reinstate it.
Went from 602. Actually up to 691. This is the old one. This is the new one.
So we're not showing, okay,
All right, so you go to your old one.
we're not showing.
And if you go to facilities, you would expect it to be 602. And then we go to the new sheet that we got tonight, it's 691.
Okay,
So that's reflecting an increase.
okay.
In
Now,
the expense one.
you.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep, okay,
We okay?
yeah.
Okay, great. All right, and police salaries.
So police salaries had a couple of modifications. The net total is about just under $22,000. There were some corrections that needed to be made, as I had spoken to earlier. And then the additional change was that the police department and fire department overtime lines have now both been increased in order to include the overtime for the 4th of July parade, the bonfire, and the road race. So the celebrations related overtime for police and fire is now included in the 5A budget.
Okay, so all the conversation we had last year that the Partridge Fund should be responsible for the overtime is now whatever that the
The fundraiser.
celebrations committee,
Oh, the Marty Departure,
yeah, Parcher, sorry.
I think they still use that.
They use some of it, but it
Yeah.
doesn't fully fund it.
No. Until we have an article too. We do an article for what, $35,000.
We have an art for $25,000, but then the conversation was that based on the, horrible shape, the things that we're facing, that
Mhm.
the schools pay for the details for football games, right? Everybody pays for the details that they have or
Mhm.
that are town sponsored events.
Mhm.
This is a town sponsored event.
Mhm.
Then why are we paying for the details?
You just said it, because it's a town sponsored event.
Yeah, but other town sponsored events we don't pay for the details. The details are covered by
Football
the,
games aren't town sponsored, those are school.
But they're all in, obviously, Betsy, the funding is in the budget in other places for those activities.
Yeah, and historically,
So the
those
funding
two
will,
departments were always using it overtime for the parade.
so
Up
actually,
until last
so
year,
are we still gonna put $25,000 in there?
just like we have all previous years.
That's paying for the floats. Betsy, in those.
No, it pays for the bands mostly.
Bands
That's
and
where
all
the
that
money
stuff.
is.
Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
The marching band, I think costs.
Yes,
$10,000.
I haven't got a problem with that, but if you add the $25,000 to the details, then we're talking over, 6 figures.
No,
No.
6 figures.
25 and 25,000 does not hit 6 figures.
So we're giving them 25,000,
Like we have for every year.
and how much are we increasing for the overtime? Or for the details?
30 between police and fire.
30 for both?
Fire
Well,
for the
23 for police
bonfire,
and 7, it's 30.
road race, and for the parade, those three events.
So 10 for each,
No, it's not allocated.
It doesn't
that way.
break out that way.
right, but,
That's it.
but roughly, I mean, just for the.
Right here, Betsy, it's on the sheet, it's right there. They explain it. Police, 23,000, overtime for celebrations, 4th of July, bonfire and road race. Fire, 7,000, overtime for
Okay, thank you.
celebrations, 4th of July and bonfire. They don't have to do the road race apparently. So
No.
it's 23 and 7 for a total of 30. On top of the 25, not 6 figures. Okay,
Yep. And we can all, I just think that this is A, this isn't B, this is A. If we were talking B, I might have a different opinion, but A, being a balanced budget meeting, there's still cuts and there's still people that are doing without these departments. I just have a problem. with
during
this.
all the noise about last year.
Yep.
And all the issues about the failed override and everything else, the parade, and these celebrations. Got an awful lot of attention from a lot of people
Mhm.
that feel we were holding them up because. We didn't have enough money and we're kind of proved that we were broke. And I think it's important that to a lot of people that these things happen, so I don't think we should fight.
Hey, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Maybe if this has always been in the budget, then why is it a $23,000 increase?
Rates
Because,
changed.
because if you look right to the left of it, that reduction. Their first, the police department's, budget was submitted with that amount reduced from it, and now this is reinstating it,
Okay, there you go.
correct?
Okay,
That's it, Mrs. Sullivan?
no, that's fine. Okay, next,
So on the police expense line, there was a typo in the way the data was entered into ClearGov and then brought into the worksheet, so that has been corrected.
OT, if they changed the OT in there as well, Rainey. You mentioned on Monday that you were waiting for some additional information.
This was it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was
you
it.
got it
Okay,
here.
all right.
Yep.
Okay, under fire, we just talked about that, the OT for celebrations.
No, that's right.
On the next page. On line 50 for DPW administration. That line has been increased to include the funding of $115,000 for a town engineer position. And to the right, under the 5B section, where I've highlighted in green, you'll see that it has been removed from 5B and added to 5A. So that is a new position. Next one after that is on the next page under cemetery.
Do we have any questions on the engineer? Anybody?
I guess I'm relieved we found $500,000 that we can add to the budget, for sure. I think what we wanted to make a point, you maybe alluded to this on a conversation we had, that I think would be important for everybody to know that engineering position can in fact come close or beyond paying for itself, because we go out a lot for engineering work. Now, I'm sure this person isn't capable to do everything that this town is confronted with, because some of it's pretty obscure engineering requirements. But for the most part, if the salary is what it's projected at here, if they don't save at least 90% of that, and I'll be shocked. So I think it's important to mention that in this particular case,
I would
that
agree.
there's a nice trade-off and that we should save some money. And I think
Absolutely.
that's a big part of the justification of putting in a new person into the A budget.
As a matter of fact, that was a substantial part of our discussion
It's
when
Sheila.
Jill was here. And upon reflection, we discussed, and I think it was either you, Mary, or Rainey brought up how much we've been paying to outside consultants. And this is a case where the dollars work in our favor by reducing that expense and bringing somebody in. It's similar to, in my mind, the discussion we've had extensively about facilities.
But
Spend this money to save some money.
Right.
it's also providing a succession plan for the department.
Yeah, in the long run, but. And that's not gonna grab people where they have to.
Yeah, you're right, Al.
Next.
Yep, all right. Next one is on the next page under cemetery, line 64. We restored $11,500 into the cemetery expense line. What had happened is in the FY 26 budget, the cemetery's expense line was reduced in order to help balance the budget. This is restoring that basically property repairs and maintenance line in order for our cemetery superintendent to have the funding to do the annual maintenance that is needed on the retorts. And we need to make sure that we continue to do our annual maintenance so that we're not
My
having
recollection-
failures and we're not facing full replacements. So this restores him back to the previous funding.
So it was for the
My
retorts.
recollection, sorry to interrupt, is that the retorts were one of the most expensive part of that operation. Is that correct?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for looking into that, because we weren't clear whether it was the retorts or whether it was something to do with the building, but.
No, definitely retorts.
So then
Check this out.
definitely has to go to A, sure.
And then
Health insurance?
and then the last one is line number 88. So health insurance after the 1027 budget, we were working with sort of estimating our health insurance costs, and part of balancing the budget was to look at the health insurance line. It was reduced and some amounts were put in 5B. This is to reinstate some of the funding in the health insurance, given we don't know what the increases are going to be yet. Those rates will be set in the coming months. And so this is in preparation for sort of our continually escalating costs of health insurance, is to appropriate additional funding to the trust fund to cover those costs.
Is it fair to bring up the audit committee met this morning? And we went over the point I want to get to
Okay.
is that in the notes to the financial statements with respect to our health plans. Okay, there was a lengthy discussion on the way to self-insure and the stop loss works in the process of doing the estimation. And I think that that's a decoupled fact that needs to be put in front of the public when it comes to this. Because it's really an estimation process
Absolutely.
based on both
Experience.
past experience and what we face with vendors increasing their costs. So it's just one of those kind of maybe obtuse points, but I just wanted to raise it because it's addressed in the annual report.
Right, I think we talked a lot about that when we talked about the health insurance budget. We talked
Yeah,
about stop loss and our coverages. So yeah, so we've definitely covered that one.
But this is reducing the amount.
It was previously reduced and now we're reinstating some of the funding. It is a net reduction.
No, it's going back. The B is going up in the B, but you're like line item 88, right?
Yeah.
Right?
You
So
are correct, Chuck. It is
we
a
voted
net-
the other day for 9.5 million. Now it's 9.4 million.
That is correct.
We voted
Because they're-
324,868. And it's now
On
up
the-
to 9,408,868. It's up.
Yeah.
Let Mary, yeah.
On the 1027 budget, it was 9.5. On the 12.5 budget that you voted, it was 9.324.
Okay,
I don't have it in front of me.
I got it.
Yeah.
So now it's
Got the wrong page.
9.408.
Okay, got it.
So it's a net improvement from the
the
original, but
12,
it's not
1027.
as much of an improvement as we had hoped.
Right.
Okay.
Fair enough to say, yes. So those are the modifications from the
Hey,
budget.
Mary, quick question. In
Sorry.
prior meeting, you talked about building a sustainability factor into the budget. In your opinion, with these improvements in the A budget, how much closer are we to having a sustainable budget?
So remember that the budget that you're looking at, Mark, is for 1 year only. Right, so we're building an operating budget for 1 year. And at the close of the fiscal year, it starts on July 1 and ends on June 30. The sustainability that you're talking about is when we look at 5B and we decide what's going to be in 5B, then we need to project and do a little forecast with the 5B number in order to identify what that override amount is going to be. And that would include that sustainability factor.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you want to take a minute to take a look and see if there's anything else that, other than these holds that we wanted to talk about with?
So we did skip over a number of positions to Ashley's point.
Yep.
On that.
I would, I feel badly that the selectman's office doesn't have, someone a receptionist, and I've been at meetings there and the phone rings, the doorbell rings, and it is very difficult to have people that are running the town, answering the door and answering the phone and not able to get from one point A to point B without having to interrupt their workflow. But Rainey, I will leave that to you. I hope that that you're not taking a hit for the team there.
We're just gonna keep trying to do what we can.
It's in B. It is in B.
It is in B.
It is a B, absolutely, absolutely. And I agree with the
I'll fight for B as
decision.
hard as A.
I agree with the
Thank you.
decision. I think I'm just being cranky because I think that's more important than a overtime for a parade, but
We understand, we understand.
I'm sure I'll get over it.
Some things are hard to give up, I think.
Uh-huh,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
All right, so
We can go back to voting now?
I
yes,
think so.
I think so.
Unless there's any other
Ashley?
additional discussion.
Everybody else set?
No, I think I'm
I
good.
want to make sure
We
we cover
okay?
everybody's
Yeah.
I
concern.
think we've moved and
We-
seconded August of the accounting 135 line, right?
We didn't get to, yeah, we
We
moved,
didn't vote it.
we
but
rescinded it.
Yep, I seconded it.
We did that and now we're up to the newest, you did put it on the table, but we didn't vote.
Should I re-put it on the table just for
Sure.
30 seconds?
Just for laughs, sure.
Okay. Move to approve Department 135 Accounting, line 8, in the amount of $420,234.
Second,
Mark, I.
Chuck, I.
Fred, aye.
Now, I.
Ashley, I.
Betsy, I.
Kathleen, I.
Okay, great. Great.
7-0.
7-0. Great.
Next up,
Move to rescind Department 197, Facilities Management. Salaries, line 28, in the amount of $300,532.
second,
Mark, I.
Chuck, I.
Fred, aye.
Now, I.
Ashley, I.
Betsy, I.
Kathleen, I.
I did want to make note, I saw in the Clipper today that there was some indication that there was facilities money on something to do with the schools when they're asking for their tech person. It has nothing to do with facilities. It's not, Katie isn't getting anything. I think they just may have used the wrong name. So I just wanted to clarify that they're in the school tech and facilities request that they're adding a person. It is not to benefit Katie or the facilities group. I'm not sure.
Oh, you're saying that the label on it
The label on it was
has,
misleading.
says facilities and technology, but the funding is dedicated to technology,
Yeah.
not to facilities.
Yeah, and not Katie. So
It is, okay.
just a point. Okay,
So
so
move to approve, Department 197, Facilities Management, line 28, salaries in the amount of $354,532.
Second,
all right.
Mark, I.
Chuck, I.
Okay.
Fred, aye.
Now, I.
Ashley, I.
That's the I.
Kathleen, I.
Okay.
Move to rescind Department 197, Facilities Management, line 29, expenses in the amount of,
Oh, I missed it. I made a mistake.
No,
I missed highlighting a green cell.
which one?
Mother of God.
Line 19.
All right, let me move back. Well, can I finish up expenses for facilities management? We'll get that just taken care
For sure.
of. Okay, so facilities management, 197, line 29, expenses from, excuse me, guys, let me just put my finger on it. $602,545 to rescind.
Second,
Okay.
Mark, I.
Chuck, I.
Fred, aye.
Now, I.
Ashley, I.
I'm gonna say all those in favor, Mark. You're not letting me get it out.
Oh, I thought we had to do it individually.
No, we do, but I have to ask. Just,
Mark, keep it up. You're right on
you're
target.
on a roll, buddy.
My clock's running down, so yeah, I apologize. Yep.
Oh, that's good. I'm just throwing it out there.
That's it.
I.
Kathleen, I.
Okay, great. So we
Move
got that.
to approve Department 197, Facilities Management, line 29, expenses in the amount of $691,045.
Second,
All those in favor?
Mark, I.
Fred, aye.
Now, I.
Ashley, I.
That's the I.
Kathleen, I. It's actually all those in favor, opposed, or abstain.
Any further discussion you could throw in?
Yeah,
Okay,
any further
all right,
discussion?
line 19.
See,
Mark's
that's what
not
it
thinking
is.
we're funny. Okay.
All right.
What did you want, Mary?
At line 19, the numbers in front of you are accurate. It was just not highlighted in green. I missed my color code.
And could you explain this?
This is I'm sorry. This is the $47,000
Got it.
for the IT department.
I should,
And
yeah.
yeah,
I should have jumped on that as well. I just blew by it.
just to clarify, did I describe it yet or did I skip over?
Yeah, you did.
I
Oh, well,
described it to you guys. when it was-
what
Oh.
I wrote the other day.
Yeah, we talked about it on Tuesday.
You good?
Huh? Okay, good, make the motion.
All right, Jill, don't be beating up on me over here. Okay. Move to rescind Department 155, Information Systems, line 19, expenses in the amount of $648,343.
Second,
All those in favor?
Mark, I.
Fred, aye.
Now, I.
Ashley, I.
That's the I.
Kathleen, I.
Vote?
Kathleen, I.
No, vote. We just rescinded one.
Yeah, I was gonna go right there.
That rescind was.
I was gonna go right there. Move to approve Department 155, Information Systems, line 19, in the amount of $695,343.
Second,
All those in favor?
Mark, I.
Okay,
Brenda,
Now, I,
Actually, I.
That's the aye.
Kathleen, I.
Beautiful. Okay. Great.
Move to rescind Department 197, Facilities Management.
you did,
We already did that.
We did, all right, okay,
please.
Line 30,
thank
police.
you. I'm off my stride.
I know, I threw you for a loop.
we interrupted you.
You did.
Okay,
It's
hold
my
on.
fault.
Not your
Let me,
fault.
let me catch my breath. Move to rescind,
We didn't vote on anything like that.
oh, we didn't, you're right, thank you. Move to approve. I'll get it. 230, move to approve, 210, police, line 30, salaries in the amount of $4,401,908.
Second,
All those in favor?
Mark, I.
Okay,
Brenda,
now, I,
Actually, I.
Nay.
Kathleen, I. Move to approve Department 2010 Police, line 31, expenses in the amount of $455,770.
second,
All those in favor?
Mark, I.
oops,
okay,
Brenda,
now, I,
Actually, I.
Aye.
Kathleen, I. Move to approve 220 fire.
excuse me, before you go on, didn't we vote on that one?
Yes.
Before, so didn't you have, don't we? have-
Oh, we did do the expenses.
We
We
did
did.
the expenses.
You're right,
Not the
Chuck.
salaries.
Good call. We did need to
I'm
rescind
sorry.
31.
So the police, expenses, we had voted in a different number. So we have to rescind that other one, even though we just voted for the new one, but we did have to rescind the old.
Okay. I missed
Do
that.
you have the minutes that the
It's the
19
same,
pages?
it's the
I
same
do.
number, Chuck?
Is it the same number?
Yeah, it is. The-
Oh, then I
The
don't- then
expenses
we're-
didn't change.
I didn't think they had either.
That's why we start.
Oh, okay,
Is that your, are you good?
I know we had already voted it, so.
Yeah.
We just voted it again, so,
Yeah, I don't,
We're good on that
it was green, so it indicated
Yeah, yeah.
that.
Double lockdown.
yeah. That was,
Okay,
we're really.
We love it so much.
Needs to get twice as much.
so let's move on to fire. We are here 32.
We did vote that.
We didn't vote that one. So we don't have to rescind it. Move to approve Department 220 fire, line 32, salaries in the amount of $4,164,272.
Second,
All right, Mark?
Mark, I.
Chuck, I.
Brenda,
now, I,
Actually, I.
Nay.
Kathleen, I. Move to approve 220 fire, line 33, expenses in the amount of $473,425.
Okay.
wait a minute. Brenda, find the one. What's that?
We're on line, I'm sorry, 33?
We already voted that.
Did it change?
Nope, okay, sorry.
No, we're moving just the salary line for overtime, right?
Yeah, all right, just
Did we do
making sure we got everything covered, folks. Thanks for the help.
So we did the fire salary.
Yeah, we're all set. It's line
Thank you.
50 is what we're looking for next.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Sullivan. All right. Move to rescind. She's down 2 different pages.
Yeah.
Department 419 DPW, line 50, salaries in the amount of $308,503.
Second,
All those in favor, Mark?
Mark, I.
Okay,
Brenda,
now, I,
Actually, I.
That's the aye.
Kathleen, I. Move to approve Department 419 DPW Administration, line 50, salaries in the amount of $423,503.
Okay.
second,
All those in favor, Mark?
Aye.
Mark?
Chuck, I.
Brenda,
now, I,
Actually, I.
Yeah, oh, sorry.
That's good. Okay, great.
You're good?
I said, yeah.
You said I, Betsy, Kathleen, I.
Yeah.
All right.
I went against that one. Shoot.
Cemetery,
Cemetery.
Hold on, I'm getting there. Give me a moment, T, so. Okay, Move to rescind 490 Department 491 Cemetery line 64
Oh, 64,
in
sorry.
the amount of 330,235.
Second.
All right, all those in favor? Mark?
Mark, aye.
Okay.
Brenda,
All right.
Ashley, I.
Okay,
Kathleen, I, Betsy, I.
yep,
All right. Move to approve Department 491 Cemetery line 64 expenses to 341,735.
second.
all right, all those in favor, Mark?
Mark, aye.
Chuck, I.
Brenda,
All right.
Ashley, I.
Betsy, aye.
Kathleen, I.
Okay, great, great.
Move to rescind Department 914 Health Insurance in the amount of 9,324,868.
just get to the page. Bear with me. I want to put the
Yep,
number.
get your comparison up.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor, Mark?
Mark, aye.
Chuck, I.
Brenda,
All right.
Ashley, I.
Betsy, aye.
Kathleen, I.
Okay,
Move to approve Department 914 line 88 in the amount of 9,408,868.
second.
all those in favor?
Mark, aye.
Okay.
Brenda,
All right.
Ashley, I.
Betsy, aye.
Kathleen, I.
Okay, so the only thing else that we did not vote was, did the school, did we vote the schools?
No, we did
No,
not.
we did not.
Like that.
Okay, that, yes.
I'm not ready to vote for schools tonight.
On A, and I don't disagree, but the level budget is a number that this is Rainey's recommended, and it's just the 3%. And in order for him to present a balanced budget on Monday, we probably should. So this one is not one that's subject to change. It's
Just vote A. Yeah, we just vote A, right?
right.
right, and that's for the balanced budget. But Kathleen, I'm not trying to speak for
I'm
you.
just trying to understand where that number is that we would be voting on. Is it on this?
It's on the vote, didn't change.
It's on page 3.
Would you give me the line, please?
Line 39.
Thank you. All right, move to approve Department 300 Duxbury Schools operating budget, line 39 salaries in the amount of 45,661,555.
Second.
Can I just have a
Please do, yes.
just a quick interjection. The presentation, now that I just heard you say that out loud, Kathleen, I'm going to change the description of that because their entire budget is not for salaries.
But that's
It's
all I
one
am.
number,
Salaries
it's salaries
and
and expenses, so I'll put the description,
Okay.
even though you just said that, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what
Does that
you
make sense, Sarah?
Yep.
Okay,
Agreed.
Thank you.
So it's still legit to vote it?
yes, it is, I just wanted.
And a lump sum.
Just wanted to make a caveat that sum is not just for salaries.
But it is,
Salaries
I just
and
want to make sure that, Rainey, this is the 3% budget, five. Yes, thank you. Got it.
School pay, 5A.
Did we
All right,
vote it?
all those in favor,
Mark, aye.
Chuck, I.
Brenda,
All right.
Ashley, I.
Betsy, aye.
Kathleen, I.
Okay, great. All right, so now you have a balanced budget, sir,
Thank you all very, very much.
to bring to the select board. We do, with the, we will, I imagine most of us will go. Are we posting for Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are, okay,
Yeah.
good. And that will be our last meeting for the holidays.
Where will that be?
Well, do we have a meeting after next Monday?
It
Do
will
we?
be in Maryland?
You don't officially,
Oh, that little look in her eye. This is tricky.
well, I'm curious to see how far we get through.
So,
B.
but if we don't finish B before the holidays,
It's okay.
I'm still presenting it.
Correct.
it doesn't injure the process.
There aren't
Except for
any
the fact
lines.
that they need a vote
We
from
moved
us.
several lines from B to A.
Yeah, but there aren't many lines here. There aren't as many as there are in A, obviously.
So, right,
Let's get cracking.
Maybe.
I think
Betsy?
Brent has a suggestion.
Yes, oh,
No
sorry.
suggestion. You want to stay, you gotta finish with that subject?
I drifted off, it's
All right. I had a conversation with Sheila Scarzy, as I was asked to on Tuesday, you weren't here. I think you received a memo from her. There was discussion about the 2 positions that were to be added in her department as part of the public safety initiatives established by the Board of Selectmen.
Yes,
And the 2 positions that they wanted were both unfortunately parked in highway.
yes.
She wants one in highway and one in vehicle maintenance.
Oh, good
Because she
call.
wants a mechanic rather than an equipment operator,
You're right.
because it's more important to her to get a mechanic to help repair all the vehicles than it is to do anything else. So she had sent you a memo, I think today, and I was included on the memo. And she wanted to change the A budget. Let me see if I can find it here and so I can match it up. Vehicle, there we go. Highway was, I'll just say this out loud and then we can talk about it. It was 575,793. She'd like to lower that to 524,095. Make it a 6 because she had 77 cents in there, so make it 6. And the vehicle maintenance salary was 136,306, and she wants to increase that to 193,808, which would move the salary for the
It's already there though.
auto highway and into vehicle maintenance.
Oh, isn't
It is not, Brent is absolutely right. Sheila did send a memo and I failed to include that here.
But it's in B.
No,
No,
B is something else.
It's not
B,
at all.
there's an
Has nothing
additional
to do.
position in B.
She did some
And she was given
reallocation.
2 positions in A on the instruction of the Board of Selectmen as part of the public safety initiative. 2 police, 2 fire, 2 DPW.
Oh, I apologize. Okay,
And
gotcha.
originally, they were both positions were parked in highway and highway maintenance.
And she wanted to
She wants
reallocate.
it, one of those positions moved up to vehicle maintenance so that you can hire a mechanic. If the money's in the wrong bucket, you can't hire the mechanic, because it's money sitting in highway.
So do we have to go back to A and
Yeah.
rescind that vote? Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just wanted to discuss it first before we did anything else. Now, are you on the same page?
Yes, we've talked about it. I just failed to include this. So Frank, would you do me a favor? Would you mind just repeating the amount for line 54?
Now, do you want the
575.
original amount or the new amount?
The new one.
Line 54 salaries under highway road maintenance. The new number is 524,096.
Thank you.
And that includes 1 new position.
That's a position being removed from there.
Yeah,
and
and
it's
added
being-
to where,
And the same amount's being put above into vehicle maintenance.
and what's that
the
number?
Wait a minute,
Genesis-
let Mary answer. I'm sorry, what?
The genesis of this is in 5A, the 5A that you have been looking at since day one.
Yep.
It restored 2 RIFs
Right,
in the highway department.
Yeah.
That is in 5A, not new positions, restored RIFs.
right.
Which Sheila, and that is based on the priority of the select board. Which Sheila, as the director of the operation, is advocating for, is the need for her organization to restore 1 position in the highway department. And to restore 1 position in vehicle maintenance
Got it.
instead of 2 in the highway.
So what's the new number in vehicle maintenance?
So Brent just read off the new number as
524,096.
That's not what she asked.
That's,
Highway maintenance, I heard line 54 changing to 424,096.
No,
Okay.
no, Can I,
524.
can I start again? Line 52. Currently reads 136,306.
Mhm.
Change, that will be changed to 193,808. Line 54. Currently reading 575,793. Will be changed to 524,096.
Okay. So let me get back to my sheet over here. We're at 52.
So Ashley's question about why it said 112. Was one of the things that you had answered, Mary.
Yes, I looked into that. I'm sorry, you ready to answer that?
No,
I
somebody.
don't want to interrupt.
So that 112 included the restoration of those two positions,
Mhm.
as well as the contractual step increases.
So that number's been reduced. It's not.
112.
Yeah, they updated
Now what you're gonna
Those were the
see,
two
yeah,
positions.
I'll give you that.
yeah, the verbiage is updated now, makes a lot more sense.
Okay. So move to rescind Department 421 Vehicle Maintenance, line 52, in the amount of 136,306.
Second,
All those in favor? Mark, are you
Mark,
still?
aye.
Okay.
and I,
Aye.
Ashley, I.
Okay. Aye.
Aye. Kathleen, aye. Okay, move to approve 421, Department 421 Vehicle Maintenance salaries in the amount of 193,808.
second,
All those in favor?
Mark, aye.
Okay.
and I.
Aye.
Ashley, I.
Betsy, aye.
Kathleen, aye.
Okay, so now we've got that one squared away to be 193,808.
Move to rescind Department 422 Highway Road Maintenance, line 54 salaries in the amount of 575,793.
Second,
All right, all those in favor, Mark?
Mark, aye.
Okay.
Okay,
and I.
Aye.
Ashley, I.
Betsy, aye.
Kathleen, aye.
Okay,
Move to approve Department 422 Highway Road Maintenance, line 54 salaries in the amount of 524,096.
Second,
all those in favor?
Mark, aye.
Chuck, I.
and I.
Aye.
Ashley, I.
Betsy, aye.
Kathleen, aye.
Okay, so we've got the DPW squared away. So now you can have the balance budget.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was seriously, right?
Thank you, Mary.
Well, I'm glad we got that in. Anything else that should be?
Was there anything else that we needed to find?
Thanks. Could I have another moment?
Yes, of course. No, I'm serious, but yeah, sure.
I talked to Scott Timmelty, our assessor, about the
Oh, thank
delta
you.
regarding second homes.
Mhm.
We had actually a couple of conversations, and to try to summarize it, there's a lot more information that I was prepared to digest quickly. There are roughly 327 homes that qualify second. They are on the goals of the town considered 101s, which is a single family home.
Mhm.
Consequently, they are taxed just like any other 101, a single family home.
Yeah.
And similar to commercial versus residential, we do not have a split rate. If the property you wish to assess higher is less than 20% of your population, it's considered de minimis and you shouldn't do it because you're going to have to tax them a huge amount to make their life miserable and have a minimal impact on the people you're trying to protect. So for those reasons, it's set today at the same rate. Now, as far as the personal property inside the building,
Mhm. Which is what we're talking.
they are sent a form to fill out where they're supposed to list the content. And do we go out with the list and knock on the door and say, can I see that desk you listed for $250,000? No, we don't. We hire a firm called RRC that does a lot of our projections on different things. So what they do is they get an assessment on their tax bill of 2% of the value of the building. Generally, you get your bill, there's a building value, a land value, and a outbuilding value, and in some cases, even a generator value. But it's only the building that's assessed 2%. That is added to their bill. In many cases, people don't even notice it.
Okay.
But that's it. We do assess 2%.
So then there is
There is
a
a little something, a little big coming in, but not a lot. Now, as far as the rate's concerned, they're set by the Board of Selectmen.
Mhm.
And I think the issue of, similar to the commercial, where it's such a small portion of the overall population, makes no sense to do it economically for either side. We don't,
Did he know what the income was from that?
I didn't ask.
Yeah.
I didn't ask. He said it wasn't a lot.
And how do they track it? How do they find out it's a second home?
Well, I guess they have it in a various way. They know who's got a second home. They figure it out. I mean, they have lots of information that comes into that office and, they have a pretty good sense. It's around 327 homes. I mean, it's not like they said, oh, it's plus or minus 300. He's at 327. So they feel they have a good handle.
Okay.
If someone would want to investigate that, and they could probably use one of these firms to go around and start doing more in-depth study. But I think from experience, they're pretty much sure. I mean, people go around and see houses empty all winter and you start to make some assumptions. And
I'm going to tell you.
the feeling was they're very comfortable with what the information they gave me. There could be more research and deeper analysis if one wanted to do it, but
Fred, would you like me to explain to you how they know?
sure. I think you did not too long ago.
So oftentimes our office receives, the assessor's office receives phone calls from people to say, please forward my mail, to my bill to, please change my mailing address to XYZ. And so that's one method that we know of people who are not year-round residents. But there are also other states, Florida being the most typical example. When people go to Florida and they file their homestead exemption, the state of Florida calls our office to confirm and get information from our office. So the trigger of us getting that phone call from them trying to get a tax break in Florida notifies us that it's a second home here.
I remember you.
You know, I think this is interesting, but I can tell Mark is taking time out of his workday. If we want to start B, can we start B and then we can maybe pick this up? Because I think that's.
Hey, Betsy, I'm gonna have to leave. I think you have a quorum, right?
Yes, we do.
And I'm gonna sign off. I'll probably listen on my phone, but I will not be participating anymore. The only on B, what I would comment is when the police chief presented, he talked about the patrol force being stagnant since like 1976.
Yeah.
And I asked a question at that time, like, but how much has your department grown? And we didn't really get an answer, but Google, Rainey showed me what Google was on our last meeting on Tuesday. From what I can tell, the entire department hasn't grown from 30 to 31 officers since 2003. So it's
Yeah.
not just patrol officers, so I think there's a perception, the whole police force has grown. It hasn't in 20 plus years from 30 to 31 officers, despite 20% growth in the town. So I think there's a little bit of confusion, like talking about patrol officers in isolation versus the entire department size. But the entire department hasn't grown since 2003, from what I can tell. I'm sure there's documents somewhere buried in the basement of the town hall that could highlight that. But I thought that was, when I was digging, I was pretty surprised to hear the entire department hasn't grown since 2003.
Thank you. That's a good point.
But wasn't there an issue between patrol officers versus detectives?
Yes, actually, everybody was called patrol. But they weren't in cars, they were serving another purpose, they were being a detective. So, but what Mark is talking about is the aggregate, which is the patrol officers.
I understand,
Yeah,
but the important part is having those patrol
Butts and
office butts and seats in
Yeah.
the cars.
Yeah.
Not in detective.
Can't cannibalize the patrol for things like 2 SROs.
Yeah, I
You
know.
want to have an SRO in your
Yeah,
schools,
I know.
it's a good idea, so 2 of them went there. Then there were detectives, and there's detectives that go down to the courthouse.
Yep.
And we're in court a lot, so you gotta do that. And you gotta have detectives, because we do have crime, whether people believe it or not, and that has to be investigated. So those people have all come out of that pool of people that are on the patrol, and they're no longer available to patrol.
And that's an issue, right?
It is.
So I understand the aggregate Mark and will certainly let you go and you guys are traveling, but there's also the question of operationally, how we got less butts and seats and had other demands on the officer's time, right?
and that was something that we recognized maybe 5 years ago and realized that had to end, and that practice has ended. That if they are going to create a new position, a detective or cybersecurity or whatever the new position is, it has to be a new position. It can't be taking someone from patrol, or that is not the practice anymore.
No, and that's important because I think Mike's
Yes.
ask was to have more patrol officers covering the geography.
Right,
If I got that right, Mr.
Exactly.
that's exactly right. Mark, go,
Thank you.
go. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
joining us for the first half, and stay out of trouble in Big Apple.
Yeah, thank you. All right, good luck.
Bye.
All right, that's good.
All right, we're down to 6. All right, so let's start with B. And that would be selectmen, oh, thank you. You have a good night.
Thank you, you too.
Bye. We're gonna do line 3, start at 3, or you know how to do it, right?
I do indeed.
You're doing,
Move to approve, Department 122, Selectman/Manager, line 3, salaries in the amount of $50,000.
you know, I missed Mark, but I'm pretty psyched that we can just all vote now and we don't have to do a roll
Oh,
call.
yeah.
Yeah.
No roll call.
Yeah.
So, you know.
All those in favor?
Pretty exciting. All right, so any further discussion on that? I think we all know what it's for. It's so, you know, Rainey and Nancy don't have to be like Jack in the Box jumping for the phone and the door, and could actually do their jobs without interruption. And I've witnessed it. It is pretty
Spectacular, isn't it?
pretty entertaining. Anybody else have anything to say? All right, we have a motion for
Line 3.
line 3. How do you want this motion? Do you want the motion just on the additional amount, the 50,000, and that satisfies everybody's
Yep.
wants and needs? Okay, well, just double checking.
Yep.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain. Okay,
That's 6 of us, right, too?
600, yep.
Move to approve Department 122, Selectman/Manager, line 4, expenses in the amount of $25,000.
Second.
I wanted to ask, this doesn't have any impact because of the engineer, right?
No,
Okay,
second part.
and I think I knew that, but I just wanted to double check. All right, any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Okay,
Move to approve Department 152, Human Resources, line 16, salaries in the amount of $36,514.
Second.
any further discussion on that? I think Ashley's already mentioned it and her concerns and support.
I still have the same original concerns and support.
Yes, right, exactly right. And this, some of the proceeds or some of the monies to support this part-time position are would be from the trust. Does that have to be spelled out in any fashion other than just
No.
listing it here and then as an offset?
So I just want to be cautious.
Okay,
So the trust is already covering about $86,000 of salary funding.
Understood.
And what happened in the 5A budget that you have in front of you is we used to be funding about $39,000 out of the trust for the previous benefits specialist who has retired.
mhm,
Upon her retirement and that position not being reinstated or replaced, we continued to charge $39,000 to the trust, but for a different position in that office.
What position was that?
So for the HR manager, her salary now, $39,000 more of her salary is coming out of the
Yeah.
general fund and being charged to the trust. So what you're talking about is if you are in support of funding this benefits specialist position and anticipating that the trust fund is going to cover it, that's going to be an additional charge to the trust fund over and above what we have been charging.
Yeah.
I
and that's something that the insurance committee will discuss at their meetings and report back. Okay, thank
It was like a reallocation.
Okay, all right, so HR, for the part-time position, no benefits for monitoring the health insurance. Correct? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstained.
Move to approve Department 152, Human Resources, line 17, expenses in the amount of $3,450.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Keep cruising.
Move to approve Department 197, Facilities Management, line. Wait a minute, no, sorry,
Nothing in.
not there, gotta turn the page. Line 30, move to approve, public safety, move to approve, Department 210, line 30, salaries in the amount of $157,465.
Salaries.
Salaries.
Police.
Hold on a second, it's on page 3.
Right here.
What happened to page 2?
Well, there's nothing on page 2.
Nothing on page 2.
Look at the blue column, something in it.
Why are there so big?
Because they.
All columns full.
Well,
Because the departments
Well-
requested it, but it's not being supported in the town manager's recommendation.
Okay, okay. Okay, I'm with you now.
So just to be super transparent, in what we are skipping over is a request for an assistant town planner.
I'm on board with that one, but what about the maintenance tech? For PD? For facility?
So this would be, okay, let's have a combo on it. So this would be the maintenance tech. And we asked Katie if she could, if she had a preference, it was be for the admin. But I'm sure, who had Katie?
I did.
You did?
Thank you.
What was the story? I mean, we all know facilities is, grossly understaffed. Do you want to add any more color to that? Rainey, why did you not recommend it?
I have a question, but I'll ask it later.
Well, I'm confused. Why is the Salmary Green salaries 2,800, right? And
Because your previous version from your prior meeting included 2 positions in there. We've moved one of the 2 out of 5B and was a 5A, the administrative assistant.
Well, the number dropped.
It's highlighting that changed from your previous version.
so the 67,735 is the admin?
Nope. It's the maintenance tech that is in 5B. The admin got moved to 5A in the green cells on the left.
I see. So the remainder in 5B is the ask is still the 67,735? Okay, got it. Got it.
Yeah.
So, thank you,
Okay,
Ashley. So we need to vote that,
Well, then they're not recommending,
The
like,
question is, why aren't we recommending it?
oh,
yes, and that would be, then I looked at Rainey and said, you didn't recommend it. Could you give us some color on that?
I can.
Okay.
and why is that?
I have to have a separate conversation, but we're not gonna do it.
Okay.
I would like to recommend, I think we should recommend it. We've just heard so much about how maintenance is
Yeah.
not being performed.
And we've been trying very hard to move more into that. I concur too, but I'd like to see it in there if we could do it.
Well, it has to come out
But-
someplace else.
Let's not go.
No, it has to be. No, it has
So we're
to
going
be-
to hold on, we're gonna hold on 197
Right.
of facilities salaries for 5B. And we're gonna give Rainey and Mary a chance to
Discuss.
see what they can
Got it.
see what they can say on that, but the sense of this committee is that it would be a good call to include that in the 5B.
Yes.
Yes.
That doesn't have anything to do with but balancing.
What?
No,
That doesn't have nothing to do with that one.
because
right?
it's
No.
override.
Nope, this is part of the override. This would add that amount to the override. And I think that we all feel very strongly that the facilities department needs
Yes,
to get whatever support they can. So, okay, that is, and, it's also a sense of this group. If was anybody wanting to proceed with further discussion on the planning board,
It's on the table.
on the planner? No, okay, great. So we,
Not at this,
that we're not gonna hold, we are holding facilities for the tech. Okay, great.
So on to the police.
So I'm just making a note here, held. All right.
Okay.
Facilities line.
So I've confused myself because I put stars against this and I don't think we've gone through this. The
Stars on ours.
stars on ours, yep. Department 210, police, line 30, salaries in the amount of 157,465 for 2 new FTE patrol positions.
second.
Okay,
So while we're here, I think we can talk about them simultaneously, the police and the fire. There's 4 brand new bodies. If we go back to last year, I'm trying to remember, our debate was they wanted to add 4 each way back. Right? Then
yeah,
they lost 2 in the lot, in the failed override. They were restored, those 2 lost were restored in the special.
but it just brought them to baseline. Yeah.
That just kept them even.
Yeah.
So now these 4 we're back, these are 2 of the 4 they wanted in last year's budget discussion.
that's right.
So they're asking for half of what they wanted last year.
So what we took out of stabilization last year,
Yeah, we're paying for it now.
Just did the baseline. It didn't add anybody. It just kept them from having to lay off 2 people.
Right.
This is 2 new
These
positions,
are new bodies.
2 new bodies, 2 new employees.
Now,
Which got confusing because the last year when we were holding the line on the number of patrol, it did include hiring people, but it was just because there was a vacancy, somebody had retired. And we did have to hire somebody to fill that vacancy, but it was not a new position. It was just holding the same census, if you
It
will.
was a net number of 6.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
You're right.
Right, new hires, but of that, 4 were new and 2 were replacements.
Yes.
so
So
now we're just looking at 2.
now we're looking at 2 and they're new, not replacements, not
And does
retirees.
it do for them what they wanted? Because remember the dialogue
Yes,
was that
additional. These
the
are
fire
additional.
department was going to add
so.
1 man to each shift.
Yeah.
we
The police
reinstated
department was gonna be add a 4th district.
2 that they would have
And
lost.
just 2 people do that for them.
Yes, it will,
These are
but it won't be,
These are-
it won't be very shit.
Local service.
Perfect. So they're gonna try to fix the high volume shifts. plug them
Okay,
in
wait a
there.
minute, let's all, Kathleen is not, we're just trying to work through this thing. So just as an example, say FY 25, there were 20 patrol, which isn't true.
Pick it
To
up.
do level service last year, they would have had to drop down to 18. They would have had to fire 2 people. The stabilization money then entered into the scene in June, which allowed him to go back up to 20 and stay at his current staffing. What this is for this year is now the number of patrol and these are not true numbers, this is
I
an
understand,
example,
I understand.
would be then 22. So we are
So-
talking 2 brand new positions. So
Net new is an increase of 2
Yes.
police or patrolmen.
Yeah,
Patrol people.
2 patrol.
I got it, Rainey. I just want to make sure these numbers get a little
But we get it.
convoluted.
Yep. So it was 20. With the level funded last year, it was gonna have to go to 18 for 10 numbers. The stabilization entered into play and they were able to then stay at 20. This brings them to 22, which enables them to have 4 zones in identified times when there is a higher
I get it.
higher
Yeah, okay.
higher problem or higher call incidents.
Thank
Well
you.
said.
It's tricky. isn't
It's and I think it's because of the way that they're not 9-to-5ers, right? And it's more of a coverage issue, right? Being able to cover the geography adequately enough. So we have enough officers on patrol. right? And it meets the needs of the town.
And it also will not offset, but it will help reduce mandatory overtime and also reduce some overtime in the budget. Not pretending that it's going to be a dollar for dollar,
No, not even.
but it will also allow for the police not to have mandatory overtime on a regular basis.
I mean, simply put, policeman's day is 3 shifts. And this gives the chief flexibility to increase the zone.
Right.
And then decide where he wants to put those bodies and when.
Whether it's day, whether it's night, whatever,
That's it.
whether there's an event, whatever, it gives him the ability to do a
Right.
4-zone. And they've demonstrated with data and everything else that all of a sudden you have 3 going to 2, which it's too big of a geography for 2 patrol cars to be adequately maintaining, the safety of the public.
Well, we had a situation this morning at 5:30.
Yeah, Chandler.
It resulted in a med fight, somebody getting seriously.
Yeah.
injured. So I mean, that's,
Or an accident on Route 3 and everybody's at the accident. I mean, it's just
so
two people.
that gives the chief a lot more tools in terms of planning and deployment, and I think that's the critical. factor.
Yeah, I'm not, please don't get
No.
the impression that I'm not in favor of, I just wanted to make sure in my head I had the count correct.
No, not at all, not at all.
Yeah, let's vote and ditto for fire. For the same
Yeah,
reason, it's
and
only a
they-
different
in their
scenario.
situation, very different, because they have a different staffing and a different staffing pattern and different schedule. Just a different kind of.
But it's for the same reason.
But they also create income in some cases.
Yes.
There's no question about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the offset there will be more noticeable.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do it. Line 30. We have a motion.
Yes, we do.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain. Okay,
I'll move to approve Department 210, Police, line 31, expenses in the amount of $9,250.
Second.
okay. And this is the difference in having these 2 people and equipping them and giving them
Right.
everything that they need
Uniforms
to
and
do their job. All right, all those in favor?
I,
Aye.
Opposed, abstain. Okay,
Move to approve Department 220, Fire, line 32, salaries in the amount of $138,400.
Second.
any conversation? We all set? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstain. Okay,
Move to approve Department 220, Fire, line 33, expenses in the amount of 0.
Yeah, there's no increase there.
No increase there. Okay. Moving down to.
let me ask a question. I know how much it costs to outfit this, guys. How is there no more expenses to get their,
Chief said we could get it from the grant.
Exactly.
he is the king of grants, that guy, but that's worth mentioning. He's not adding expenses because he's going to write a grant to get these, because it's a very expensive,
Or stadium one.
huh?
Stadium one.
It's fine. It's still, he makes the effort and does it. So congratulations on that.
Move to approve Department 241 Municipal Services, line 34, salaries in the amount of $30,930.
Second. This is the admin they lost.
Yep.
Assistant to the inspector
Yep, in Jim's office.
and,
But this isn't the Board of Health one, right?
No.
no,
Is the Board of Health one in here?
no. This, in talking with, Wazlewski, was saying that they are having a real hard time keeping up with all the permitting that the town does. Getting to inspections and they're just shorthanded. They just can't keep up with the demand.
Is this gonna
This is
help?
why this person will free them up to get to where they want to go and where they have to be, on behalf of the town.
But this doesn't do anything to correct the Board of Health and I thought that the admin that they were gonna add to the office was tied to the Board of Health and then that was gonna be shared amongst.
She said,
No, he
Well,
is.
the admin is for that whole department.
He is proposing to change his organizational structure. in order to address the loss of that previous position by requesting this.
So we'll balance out
It will,
that, because that was quite the presentation as to the impact of loss of that admin. So this does address it in some fashion.
yes.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Great. Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Move to approve Department 295, Harbor Coastal Management. Line 36 salaries in the amount of $4,235.
Second. This is to give them that second buck an hour increase.
Yep,
so that he can
They got a
actually get
buck in-
people to work for him.
In A, they want another buck in B so they can attract and retain people.
Yeah. Great, all
Just
those in
staying
favor?
competitive.
I
Aye.
Oppose, abstain? Okay.
move to approve Department,
Can I interject? Before you
Yes.
move on, can you go back to facilities and vote line 28 as presented without the maintenance tech? We're good.
What?
Line 20.
Line 28.
the, 4750.
Actually, I guess they don't have to vote anything, right? 'Cause it's zero.
There's nothing in, there's nothing.
Yeah.
You're nothing there, right?
Yeah, and the answer is no, it's not being included this year. We're going to try it for next year.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
I think you wanted to skip the schools for a moment, right?
Did
I do,
Yeah, we don't have anything in rock.
Just-
What is the? Okay, that's just the subtotals.
Yeah.
We're not doing, I'm not voting on schools tonight.
Yeah. Put them a hold there.
Yeah, we're gonna put a hold on the schools. I feel after last night, there was a lot of, there was a question on the revenue side of that was almost $3 million that I did get an answer from, Lisa, but I have not had a chance to review it, and I will share it with everyone so that you can take a look at it, but it's, huh?
I brought copies.
It's
Yeah, but it doesn't, I want to clarify it though, yes,
You're gonna hold this. Let's say that to the end.
yeah, okay, great.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Ashley?
no, it's not.
Ashley, it's something.
No, I
Ash-
think we're gonna go back to school right after.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you.
Move to approve Department 192, Central Building Services, line 41, salaries in the amount of $11,937.
Second.
That's
So the
on line 41.
custodian,
Oh, there we are. Okay, great.
a new part-time custodian for the new facility.
And this is just for the DPW. Okay, great. Okay, got it. All those in favor? Aye. Oppose, abstain? Great.
Move to approve Department 294, Lands and Natural Resources, salaries, line 47, in the amount of $51,698.
Bless you, bring the page. Second. All right.
All right.
Full-time
Lands and natural resources, okay. All those in favor? Aye. Okay.
Move to approve Department 419, DPW Administration, line 50, salaries, $7,500. OSHA compliance stipend for safety programming.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Line, Department 421, vehicle maintenance, line 52, salaries, in the amount of $57,502.
No,
Hold that out.
please.
We
no.
pulled that, we already did that one.
Oh, sorry, we did we did all that stuff.
We moved it to A.
Right, moving on.
To A.
But it's gonna go up to line 54 now, right?
I think,
No, the other way around. Money came out of 54 and went into 52.
No, but then it's gonna add into the B budget for 52 to 54, right?
And we already did that in A. All that's been done in A, so we don't have to deal with B.
Okay,
Right.
so there's not gonna be a B on 54?
I don't know. Let me think. Wait a minute.
I thought we just.
Yes,
this was
yes,
another
yes,
goal.
we do need the 57 and B. Because all we did before was take one position on a highway that was granted in A and put it into vehicle maintenance. So there's still just those two people that it says on line 54, restore 2 RIFs. We just put 1 there and 1 up there. Now, this is a request for a third body.
Yes,
So we do have to
we
vote
do have to vote it,
57,
57,502. The switch that we did, you know, a half an hour ago was just the reallocation of what was in the recommended town manager budget.
Yes.
So the motion is for 57,502.
Second,
And where is it? Where you have it?
Okay, let me repeat
In
the
like
motion,
54,
please.
52.
Yeah,
it
Department 421, vehicle maintenance,
says 52.
line 52, salaries in the amount of 57,502, which is to restore 1 FTE from the RIF. And
No, we're not doing
put
this.
that
We
in.
already did restore the one from the,
So we're
we've already done it. If that number maybe drops down a couple of rows, but but we've already done vehicle maintenance. We put it in A.
It drops down to 54.
Girl Scouts on it.
It drops down to line 54.
Okay.
So that number should drop down to 54.
We
So do
vote
I
for
need
it
to
in
do
54,
the
not
57,502 and 54?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, please.
thank you. There we go. Okay. Try it one more time. Move to
I
approve
remember we moved it.
Department 421, vehicle maintenance, line.
No, it's highway road maintenance.
Thank you. 422 highway road maintenance, line 54, in the amount of 57,502.
Second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
I'm the only one confused.
No, I think I'm now not confused. So,
So just to drop an arrow down so
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, just drop the arrow.
Drop down to
You said the only
54.
reason you're doing it was because it was in the wrong department.
Okay.
Because she,
But it was a new position.
okay.
It was the vehicle maintenance guy was a new position. This is a RIF. And it needs to go into highway road maintenance because they lost 2 people in a RIF.
Okay.
Wait a minute, Ashley's not confused, and I wanted to be
We're
straight.
mixing riffs and new.
Yes,
It's a
indeed.
mixture of riff and new.
She is not proposing any new positions across these 2 departments.
Okay, this is just riff.
All you are talking with among these 2 departments, all you are talking about is RIFs.
Restoring 3 total positions, 2 in A and 1 in B.
Correct.
Okay,
Now it is. Okay, yeah, done.
Okay, sorry, I missed my miscap. I apologize. I had the numbers right. I just had the new and the RIF part wrong. I apologize.
It's a little difficult to follow.
It is a bit of a Rubik's Cube, yes.
Okay, so let's get to,
Human Services.
how
65.
about Department 541, Council on Aging, line 65, salaries in the amount of 29,209.
Second,
Okay, and this is to increase home delivered food meals manager from part-time to full-time because of the huge increase in the number of meals that were delivered. The only impact will be this is a full-time position, previously half-time. There will be a benefit impact. Just so that we're all in
and I
cahoots.
think it's worth it.
absolutely.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
I'd like to hold on the line 66 expenses. I'd like to understand, I still haven't gotten an answer on what that Care Sal subscription is going to be. It is townwide. It is not just for the schools. No, it's not, it's for schools and the entire community. It's for all of us. And Joanne sent me to Mr. Holden and we have not connected. I do agree we need to get additional food supplies, but I would like to see the additional food supplies separated from the Care Solace subscription. I don't know how big this Care Solace subscription is or how that is tiered, but if there's a tiered pricing on that.
I think it's 10,000 a year. Is that right?
It is true. And Can I correct a couple of things?
sure, you go, girl.
So the 10,000 that is in this line item is for townwide services. It is not for the schools. The schools maintain their own separate subscription. We actually just had a training session on this week, yesterday.
Department meeting right here.
Department head meeting right here in this very room, and Care Solace was presented to all of the departments. It is already up and running. And there have already been, correct me if I'm wrong, 138 people in the community who have already taken advantage of this program in under 2 months. The school maintains their own separate subscription, because that service is utilized by students, and it is also used in conjunction with counselors and other professional staff at the school department to make referrals and follow up on specific cases. And so that data needs to be kept separate from the town's data.
And that's, Mary, that's fine. My question is not about the efficacy of the program and what the program does. My question is more about if you go to 1,000 people are now using the Care Solace, because it is a network, a referral network for mental health, right, services. And my experience is that with some of these programs, as you increase the number of your usage, your subscription rate goes up, right? So I'm trying to understand if it goes from 150 to 1,000, what is the pricing tier structure, if any, for that shift? Because it could potentially see those kinds of increases once the Care Solace program is introduced and more widely known. I think we need to anticipate what, if there is a pricing tier schema, that we have an understanding if we're going to keep, because once you have it in, you offer the benefit to the community, it's no taken back, right? So we need to anticipate if there is a pricing tier involved, or if it's a flat annual.
Did that come up at your training?
Was it here? You didn't know? Did you ask Joanne? You say that?
No, Joanne referred me to
She-
Mr. Holden, and we have not connected.
Oh, Peter Holden.
Did they mention that? Yes.
No, it was a training. It
The
wasn't.
training.
Well, I didn't.
No, is it already, but it's already instituted.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the Friends of the COA paid for the first 10,000.
Yeah.
So that's got it up and running.
Mhm.
So they've applied for a grant from Beth Israel Deaconess for 3 years, and it's pending. But with 1 year in with the COA, they wanted to make sure they get funding to go forward. That's why it's in the 27 budget.
And all I'm asking is that we separate that from the not included in the additional food supplies, that come in as a separate expense item so that we can understand any pricing schema should that population increase for request for referrals. I think it just makes sense not to have any surprises should the program have that kind of price tier involved.
Well, we do have experience with it in the schools. They've had it for how many years, Mary?
Several, I can't
know.
quote
They
them
should know what
exactly.
Same question.
They
Same
should know what
question,
the pricing.
Then I don't have the,
Here's the deal. I'm texting Peter Holden right now.
I'm texting Joanne.
Oh my God, we're having a text war.
So why don't we
you
put a
call me
hold on this for
regarding
now
Care
and
Solace?
move on to
Yes.
the budget?
yes, can we put a hold on this for now and
Yep,
move on? to
not
the
a
budget,
problem.
please? Thank you.
And I just texted Peter, and
Maybe you'll have better luck.
well, if I don't get a hold of him, I'll text his wife to have him text me back. So
Thank you.
there we
That
go.
would be lovely. Okay, move to
That might be
approve
also fair.
And
Department
then
eight.
Chuck, you can do it.
Wait a minute, hold on. Nope, cancel that. Move to approve Department 610, Library, line 70 salaries in the amount of 13,613. That's restoring the Sunday hours.
Second,
Any further discussion? It doesn't add any FTEs, it doesn't impact anything, it's just gives the ability to have the hours available. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Right, opposed, abstain, good.
Move to approve Department 634, Beach Operations, line 79, salaries in the amount of 90,525.
second,
Okay,
beach.
we also, they're part of this, the fee hearing was the increase to the fees for the beach. And I did notice that you left some money on the table as far as projected, additional revenue to help cover this.
I'm sorry, what's the question?
There wasn't a question, that was a statement. But the question is that the statement continues that I think that if we do this, it further makes the service out there better. It keeps Arthur from burning out. And the better the
Arthur.
service, the more stickers we're gonna sell. What did I call him?
I call him Arthur's name.
It's already, but you're right, it's already.
It is Arthur.
He wouldn't answer to Arthur.
Yeah, who the hell that?
Well, then I will not call him that, since I'm not calling him. But I think that it makes a tremendous amount of sense to get this done.
Well, it's a year-round job and there's one guy out there and too big a job.
Right,
Yeah,
You need two bodies.
Yeah.
To get the job done.
Okay.
We don't want to be violating the
it's
release.
bigger. We had our
Okay.
first snowy
Snowy
owl
owl.
no, the owls are back.
2 days ago.
Oh, great.
Did the guy bring him or did he just show up?
Oh, no, they are brought here.
I'm curious to see if over time they come here just out of, because they've been here. I don't know.
We have to take them back.
Um,
They could, I don't know what they do with them either, it doesn't matter. All right,
Okay, great. And all those in favor?
I move to approve, Department 7 at 12, under debt service, town and school. Set Department 710, principal line 82, in the amount of 200,000.
Second.
No description there, what is that?
Additional money for what?
Gonna pay off some more loans?
No. This is the conversation that we had last week.
We are tired and so are you, and I'm sorry, our retention is not.
To add debt capacity to be able to address
It's a debt
additional
capacity.
capital.
This, we
Yeah.
love this one.
Let's vote it.
Okay,
Oh, I want to vote
All
twice
right.
on this one.
all right,
All those in favor?
I,
Aye. A hearty aye. Thank you, Mary.
move to approve Department 916 Medicare line 86 in the amount of 15,270.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstain? Great.
Rounding off the spectacle. Move to approve Department 914 Health Insurance line 88, 113,472.
Second.
Can we do this? Or no?
That is all.
This is on top of what we did in A?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That was health insurance. Okay, and we have one more. The last, but not the least of it.
Oh, I
Department
see.
945 Unemployment, line 92. Nope, I lied.
You know,
That's the total.
I was getting to the subtotal line.
if you'd like to, we can go back to the care solace. I just texted Joanne. She said, I asked her, does the pricing increase year over year? Is it priced on the number of participants or is it a flat rate? She said the price does not increase. It's the same price year over year. It's based on the number of residents.
Oh, based on the population, not on the participants.
Correct.
Okay,
And it's 10,000 a year?
Yes,
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Rainey.
you're welcome.
you want to go back to that?
Yep,
966, if you need it.
yep, thank you. Move to approve Department 541 Council on Aging line 66 expenses in the amount of $29,000.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstain.
Thank you.
Nope, that's great. Thank you for getting the answer.
Mhm.
Okay, and I have a question on unemployment. We did the 550 last year. How's that tracking? Because we didn't have to lay off as many people as we feared because some quit, which is good news, bad news situation.
But the, here's the other things.
I don't think it's that.
But we're in good shape to have a coverage for the 30 week. And should have some residual on that.
So do we understand what the residual is going to be? Have an estimate for that residual for the
No, look at
550?
her face. No,
Not yet, because
No.
it's still ticking.
So we've got what till maybe mid-June, mid-July,
Well, it'd be
36 weeks.
36 weeks
36
after
weeks.
July 1st.
after July 1st. Okay.
Yeah.
okay, great. Okay, What else have we got?
A meeting
I'm
on
not gonna
Monday.
even go there.
Okay, so
Wednesday, March
Mary,
10th.
you had said, I had said Monday's the last meeting and then we'll see in 26. But you kind of had a little sad look on your face, so what's the scoop with that?
I
Did
think
you?
that's exhaustion. I don't.
Oh,
think
it's
that-
total exhaustion, but did you need us to meet again before the end of the year?
I just want to confirm what you guys just did. So if I understand, there's one
Yep,
item in the budget that was not voted, which is the school department's 5B.
And the vehicle maintenance,
I'm sorry?
and the,
No, we voted.
no, we
no,
voted.
sorry, the facilities maintenance.
No, you guys went back and took care of that.
No, we didn't.
We went back and decided not to do the tech. Well, I'm sorry, maybe you didn't hear, but we had asked Rainey there, and you did not recommend the tech, you're gonna wait until next year. For the,
That is correct. That's what he said.
That's right.
and
Why? We might not do an override next year.
Right, might not have to. And just do it, right?
okay, did you want to give a little color on that, Rainey, or are you too tech?
Katie doesn't need it now, she said it can wait.
I actually did speak with Katie today as well,
Yeah,
and she said admin was key and that the tech was something that she needed, but she could wait.
Does she?
So everything else you guys voted in support. And the only thing that's outstanding is the school's 5B.
Yep.
Okay. So what's our plan of attack for addressing that?
I need time to digest the answer from Lisa. When I first looked at it, it seemed, it wasn't as straightforward as I had hoped, so I needed some clarification. I think that, the revenue is troubling. And the Title I award we have gotten we got it when I was on school committee, which was like 25 years ago. And I don't believe that we've ever been cut off from it. So I think that this concern might be premature. And I was disappointed to hear when we asked if they did get the Title I grant, what they were going to do, and the answer was, we'll spend the money. And I found that troubling. Really troubling, because I think, as I recall, the reconfiguration of these 6 part-time Title I aides also was going to be redone so that there was going to be another full-time equivalent and another benefited position. But I need to check my notes on that. But I just feel as though almost $3 million reduction in revenue is worth a serious discussion, because that could mitigate this ask substantially.
Are you proposing that we need to request the school department to come back and answer questions about it? Or I guess
They're
they're
gonna
gonna
have
understand next steps.
I would like to make a recommendation that the liaison from this committee, which is
Ashley and Al, yeah.
Ashley and Ted, meet with them face to face,
Yeah.
specifically to address these issues. Because I have had a conversation with the schools regarding page 47. And I don't think 47 is what we think it is. That first column, whatever the National School Lunch Program number is, 1,547,000. However they arrived at that number was not the same methodology used to arrive at the same number in the next two columns. One is like the value of the whole program over that course of the year. The other one is just the net effect of that program over the year. How we can make a presentation in a public document where you have 3 columns reporting to be the same reporting line and use a different methodology for each column is beyond me. And I had that conversation and I said, look, it's confusing at best and misleading at worst. So I've asked that they please think about it just as you have. And what we all got, I guess, was this document, and I see that it reconciles the 25 column. And the next paragraph is supposed to explain the next 2 columns. But as you can see, that they don't represent the same things.
No,
And That's why you think you've got $1 million swing. They're not talking about apples and oranges. They're talking about grapes and bananas. And it's hard for a layperson to really comprehend that. And
I'm happy to turn this over to the liaisons.
I think it would be useful if you guys are willing to try to thrash this out with them one-on-one, because I think doing it back and forth on the phone and some text messages,
And there's too many.
memo here, memo
There's
there.
too many cooks in the kitchen.
We gotta sit down and just have a nice heart to heart and say, explain this to us. How can that number be so different than that number? Simple. And I tried to get that and I left confused.
And the other.
Maybe
is
it's
just-
me. I'll
No.
take responsibility for that. But I tried.
And also the other, which went from, what, 2.5 million?
Well, I
down to
suspect
8.
it's the same thing, a different methodology for addressing the column that says FY 25 is not the same applied in 26 and 27. I think what they said they were trying to do was in the 25 column, this was the cost of the whole program. And as we discussed, they get a bunch of grant money, and that grant money goes right to the vendor who provides the food to the school. And the school doesn't
No,
keep
no,
any
this
of it.
outside of the food, the other.
They just slide, well, that, I'm just lying, that
Yeah.
National School Lunch Program one. They
Yeah.
just slide it over. And what the 228 represents is sort of what's left. And that's what's used to pay the cafeteria workers and the custodians. Okay, but that's not what's in the first column. Why is it only that in the second two columns?
We need one explanation.
So I think
for the
it needs
whole
to,
thing.
someone needs to
So are you
sit.
proposing that you need?
And if nobody else wants to do it, I'll go up there and sit with them. I think the liaison is probably the appropriate one. If you guys are okay with
I
it.
think that Ashley is a CPA, she can have a conversation with them and,
This is not.
And-
And a quorum, so I just want to,
pardon me, say,
just want to make sure there's not a quorum, so that, because you were.
I'm not gonna go. I'd be, if Ashley, if you and Al are willing
They're in favor of.
to take it on,
Right?
2 CPAs should be able to figure this out.
I would like to couch this in this fashion. I'll be very honest. This is not a burning issue for me. I'm concerned about it, but I'm concerned more so with other aspects of this overall budget. Those are concerning. So I'm happy to go meet with them. That's fine. I think it would be very wise to have your input because you raised the issue in the first place. Now, I'm happy to do the legwork and any of the detail work, et cetera, but I think it would be wise, since this conversation started with you, that you still remain involved in.
And that's
I
fine,
think it would be more effective, is what I'm trying to say.
okay.
How did we get that first meeting with Dr. Quinlan?
I'm sorry, say again?
How did we get that first meeting with Dr. Quinlan, or the only meeting?
They probably set it up, I believe.
Whitehead.
Usually just send an email.
Yeah, usually, years ago, we used to meet like 6 times
Yeah,
and hash through the whole thing. We've only met once, and even at that point, there was no,
we didn't talk numbers or anything.
we didn't talk any numbers, so there
was no dialogue.
has been a very, a very different dialogue.
It's been very limited in terms of openness, et cetera, and I'm not trying to criticize anybody.
No,
But I mean, it sort of came to a head when, we were having that meeting a week or so ago.
very different.
Ashley very politely pointed out to one of the school committee members on page 7, their own.
I found it on page 2 as well.
The issue here is, yeah, I think it needs to be researched. I'm happy to do the gut work but where do we want this to go? I think that as a liaison, I'm only speaking for myself, not for anybody else. Yeah, I'll be there. But I think that you as chair who raised the question, and it's a valid question, I'm there to support you and carry out the work of this committee. And I think that's the way it should go.
And I also think that, and I would like to do it when everybody's here, because it's half of our budget. With you add the shared costs, it's 60% of our budget. And I think that we have been, it seems as though the process now is we will tell you what we need, and that is our budget. There is no negotiation, there is no,
That's how.
there is no, yeah, there is no, what can you afford aspect to it. And I think that it is incumbent upon us. I think last year we went along with that, and I don't believe that it was well received. So I think there has to be some serious consideration into what is sustainable.
Right, but
We can't tell them how to spend it, we can tell them what they have to spend.
my expectation would be, if I was a person on either the school committee or work in the school department, I would welcome this kind of meeting and say, okay, this is some detail, let's go through it. Here's how we're measuring this, to get the friends point. You know, are we measuring apples to apples, oranges to oranges, what's in there? Because quite frankly, I don't know from Adam on this stuff. Zero. So, and I'm happy to spend whatever amount of time just to get it on the table, take an objective look at it and say, oh, so this is how this works.
But that's part A. Part B is what can we afford and what can we support? Because even if we come to
You're getting to
understand
the-
every line in
Right,
part
but
A,
You're
yeah.
getting to the conclusion, and obviously that's it. We can't manufacture money and it's not gonna land here from heaven.
right,
So if we're going to explore this expense side, and we need to understand the impact on the revenue side, where's the money? I mean, that's the logical conclusion. We've discussed this before.
yeah. And it may not be what they've asked for.
I listened to it in parts, but did the school committee make any amendments to the superintendent's? No, they voted.
No.
They voted the 8-12.
Exactly.
There was a split vote on
Yeah, I know,
it.
I saw it was split, but they didn't make it to it.
Nope, just that was it. And nothing was removed, nothing was added, they just voted it. And there, we have to understand it. That is the best that we can based on the information that is supplied to us. But I think that the real rubber's gonna hit the road on what we can sustain, what we can afford to allocate from what we have. And not just this year, but the years going forward, because as you know, it compounds. And yeah, and it's been a difficult conversation. It hasn't been as easy as I hoped it would be in it, and there you go. So I don't want to rush that. I don't, Mary and Rainey, I don't want to make your lives more difficult. But you don't need to have B done before the holidays, do you?
It'd be nice, but I'm gonna go with their number for my recommendation on Monday.
Right, so on B.
Yeah.
Why would,
Do you have to do a B for the select
I
board?
did last year, yeah,
Um,
I think so, I gotta double check. If I need to, then I'll use their number.
okay,
I don't understand that.
You just won't have a finance.
It's the only line we have, it's the only line you haven't voted on, I'm not fine with that.
It's fine.
It's okay, Christ, well, I'm sorry, we didn't-
so when you present that we are
You
not,
haven't voted yet.
that we're still investigating. I mean, we'll be there too.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
Maybe if we have the answer, maybe we could vote before that meeting, because we'll be in session.
Yeah.
I don't think that we're gonna be able to stand in a hallway and decide how much we can afford to give them. I think that's gonna be a bigger conversation. That's because this is definitely a two-part conversation. A, let's understand what they're asking, and B, what can we afford and what is sustainable for the future? And the second part is going to be the real conversation, I think.
All
And
right,
there you go.
On a motion to adjourn.
Yeah,
So are we requesting the committee to come back to this meeting? To this, or are we sending them?
We're available if needed. As a-
At this point in time, no, I don't think that we're gonna schedule another meeting for the next year. The liaison will reach out to the schools and we set up the appointment and if indeed we have to, I don't foresee, anything that is, and Rainey, other than I'm not trying to screw you up. But, I don't think we need to meet for the end of the year to have that conversation. Are we out?
Yeah.
We're out of time. time to consider.
Motion to adjourn second.
I
Hi.